Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm doing a reading based on Trump's tariff wars. And specifically, are they going to be coming to an end anytime soon? I think the world would be relieved if they could put the tariff saga behind it. People are getting pretty fed up watching their savings evaporate and, worrying about unemployment and the economy taking a hit. So, is the end in sight? Well, I think it is. So let's get into it. So the first card I pulled was the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is the card of defensiveness. It's pushing back, it's standing your ground, not giving up. And I think with Trump, I think this card speaks to Trump's posture of standing his ground and pushing forward and fighting back against his critics. And he doesn't want to give up any ground on this. He wants to push his agenda forward, and he's taking on his opponents. He's fighting back, and I think this card really speaks to that. The next card I pulled is it kind of ties in. It's the Emperor, and I can't think of another card that would be more applicable to Trump right now. The Emperor is the card of authority and power, but it's also the card of stability. And even though things are really unstable right now, I think what this card is saying is that this whole tariff saga is Trump's need to assert his power and assert his authority. In his mind, he's the emperor, he's the president, he is the ultimate authority, and he is going to stand his ground and not let anyone question that. But I also think that the emperor in this reading speaks to other authority. There's more than one authority in this world. Trump is the president of the United States, and the ultimate authority really falls to the people of the United States. We the people in the Constitution is a very significant phrase, and I think Congress also has a lot of authority. And I think that the Emperor card is speaking to the authority in the situation. Congress needs to take authority. It needs to assert its power too, to stand up against this emperor. So I think authority is a key message in this reading. And who's going to get it and who's going to keep it? The next card I pulled was the moon. And the moon speaks to volatility, hidden forces, the behind the scenes maneuvering, the unknown, and volatility. And I think all of those things, I think it's the not knowing what's coming down the pipe or what's going to happen every day or every other day. There are changes and the uncertainty in the markets. There's a lot of hidden stuff there. There's a lot of unknown. And financial markets don't like the unknown. They don't like uncertainty. They like stability and the rule of law. And hidden forces pulling the strings behind the scenes is not going to do anything to soothe markets. And I think there's a lot of hidden agendas and things that are being kept from the American public that they're not aware of what's going on. Maybe there's a secret motive to this whole tariff war that we haven't discovered yet or hasn't come out yet. Who knows what Trump's motivations are? What's in his brain, what's hidden, he's keeping hidden from the American public as to why he's doing this. So the moon, I think, has a powerful message in this reading. Next card I pulled was the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is the card of triumph. It's victory. It's being successful in battle. And, to go back to the Seven of Wands, which is, standing your ground and the card of battle, really. Is the Triumph card really speaking to Trump's winning this battle? Is he the one who's going to be victorious? I think in his mind he will be victorious. But is it a real victory? Or is it that his inner circle or his advisors or his administration is going to give him a victory, let him claim victory, give him what they call an off ramp, so that we can move forward with something a little more stable and economically viable for the world's economy and the U.S. economy. So I think they're gonna give Trump a victory or allow him to claim victory, and that's the only way that this is going to come to an end. And I mean, I think anyone who's been paying attention knows that this is important for someone like Trump. He needs to win. He needs to be a winner. It's always a win-lose thing with Trump, and he needs to be a winner. And I think he will be a winner, even if it's only in his own mind. The Four of Swords was the next card that I pulled, and retreat from battle, right? It's a respite. It's the weary warrior taking a break is what this card represents. And I think he's gonna have there's the battle, there's the success, the triumph, and then there's the retreat. So that says to me that this tariff war is going to be coming to an end soon. The end is in sight, and the answer to the question that I asked, is the end in sight? I think this card is saying yes, the end is in sight. Trump will be retreating from battle. He's going to get his victory, and then he's going to retreat. And I think that's exactly what this card is saying. However, it's going to take a lot of work and emotional intelligence to get there. The strength card, is taming the savage beast, our inner savage beast. It's the worst of our human emotions. And the strength card is patience and emotional intelligence. And it's taming that, the worst of our human emotion. And I think that we're not going to get our retreat from the tariff policies, and we're going to get our victory through strength. With him, with Trump. It's the emotional intelligence of those around him and world leaders approaching him diplomatically, with negotiation, with patience, with, again, diplomacy. And that's what's going to be required before we get an end to this crisis. Now, considering that these cards, we're looking at, the Six of Wands, and we're looking at the Seven of Wands. Wands are action. Wands are fire. Wands are a movement and momentum. So I think that if we were to ask the question, is the end to this tariff war going to be sooner or later? I think, considering that wands are a symbol of action and momentum, I think we're going to have an early end. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. I don't think it's going to be dragged out for too long. And if numbers are at play here, this is the Six of Wands, so maybe it'll be 6 weeks or 6 months before, when we see the end to this. I think it's more like 6 weeks, but it's really hard to time events with tarot. The future's not written in stone, and it's unfolding as we speak, and there's so many variables as to outcomes that you can't time anything through tarot. However, I think we're looking at 5 or 6 weeks, and you should see an end to this. It'll drag on. It's not going to be completely come to an end. However, I think for the most part, a lot of this chaos and a lot of this uncertainty is going to be put behind us in the near future, as opposed to the long term. The other thing I wanted to mention was I did a very quick meditation on this reading, and a very clear symbol popped into my mind's eye. And the symbol that I saw was a gondola, like a Venetian gondola they have in Venice, that, traverses the canals of Venice. And that was interesting. And I think that it speaks to The same thing that the Six of Swords speaks to. The Six of Swords is means moving out of troubled waters, and there's an emotional relief to this card, and it's getting out of trouble, moving on from trouble, moving out of troubled times, and gliding your way into a better, more calmer, stable future. And that was the gondola image and symbol I had in my mind, I think really is sending that message that yes, there is an end. It'll probably come sooner. It will come with dealing with the hidden forces that are at play with the moon card. And those hidden forces, dealing with those hidden forces with patience, giving him a win, and speaking to his authority, and watching his authority in other forms, in other ways, asserts itself. Congress is going to probably take over. I think Congress is going to get their act together and move forward and challenge his authority and take over power. And that's going to be part of it. And they're going to do that by giving him a victory. That's my reading. I hope it comes true. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.